They insult you. You react. They call you too sensitive. They push your boundaries. You defend yourself. They say you're starting drama. They provoke you. You finally snap. And somehow, you're the problem. This is the oldest trick in the manipulator's book. Make you react, then punish you for reacting. Make you defend yourself, then frame you as the aggressor. Machiavelli understood this dynamic 5 centuries ago. A prince must learn how not to be good, and to use that knowledge or refrain from using it as necessity requires. If you always react the way they expect, you're predictable, and predictable people are easy to control. The tamed dog reacts. He explains, defends, and exhausts himself, trying to prove he's not what they accused him of. The wolf does something different. He doesn't react. He doesn't defend. He simply erases them, not with anger, but with indifference. Today, we break down psychological erasure, 6 ways to break a bully's power without throwing a single punch, not by fighting harder, but by making them irrelevant. Type erase in the comments if you're ready to stop being their fuel. This content is for educational purposes to help you recognize and defend against psychological manipulation. We do not condone using these ideas to harm others. Number 1. The reaction economy. Bullies don't want your fear. They don't want your pain. They want your reaction. Any reaction, anger, tears, defense, even explanation, is fuel. It proves they can affect you. It proves they exist in your world. Machiavelli observed, "Men are less hesitant about offending someone who is loved than one who is feared." But here's what he didn't say. They're least likely to offend someone who doesn't react at all. Someone who makes them feel irrelevant. Next time someone provokes you, try something radical. Feel nothing. Not suppress. Genuinely feel nothing. How? By understanding their goal. They want to get inside your head. If you know that's the game, you can choose not to play. The dog thinks, "I have to defend myself." The wolf thinks, "My silence is louder than their noise." You can't win a game you refuse to play, and they can't hurt you if you don't react. Number 2. The gray rock method. Some people feed on drama. They need emotional reactions like vampires need blood. If you give them nothing, they starve. The gray rock method is simple. Become the most boring, uninteresting version of yourself when they're around. No emotion, no investment, no fuel. Machiavelli advised, "A prince must appear merciful, faithful, humane, religious, and upright. But his mind must be disposed so that he can be the opposite when needed." The gray rock is that opposite. You appear dull so they lose interest. When they provoke you, 1. Give one-word answers. Okay. Sure. Interesting. 2. Don't ask follow-up questions. Don't engage. 3. Keep your face neutral. No eye contact that invites more. 4. Stay busy with something else. Your attention is valuable. Don't spend it on them. After a few attempts, they'll move on. Not because you won, but because you became invisible to them. And invisibility to predators is safety. I had a coworker who loved to make subtle jabs, always joking, always testing. I used to spend hours thinking about comebacks, defenses, ways to prove him wrong. Then I tried the gray rock. Next time he made a comment, I just said, and kept working. He stood there for a second, waiting. Nothing. Next day, another jab. Okay, I said, not even looking up. Within a week, he stopped. I hadn't fought back. I'd just become boring. And boring people don't get bullied. If they can't get a reaction, they can't get anything. Starve them. Number 3, the narcissist prayer reversal. This prayer goes like this. That didn't happen. And if it did, it wasn't that bad. And if it was, it's not a big deal. And if it is, it's not my fault. And if it was, you deserved it. Bullies gaslight. They rewrite reality. They make you doubt your own memory. The dog tries to argue. Yes, it did happen. It was that bad. It is a big deal. It is your fault. The wolf does something smarter. He doesn't argue at all. When someone tries to gaslight you, state your reality once, calmly, clearly. Then stop. I remember it differently. I'm not going to argue about it. That's it. No defense, no proof, no evidence, just a calm boundary between your reality and theirs. They can't fight a wall, and that's what you become. A wall, not a debater. Arguing with someone who rewrites reality is like playing chess with a pigeon. They'll knock over the pieces, shit on the board, and strut around like they won. Don't play. Number 4. The invisible shield. Here's what bullies count on: that you care what they think, that their opinion matters to you, that their approval or disapproval affects your mood. The moment you stop caring, their power evaporates. Machiavelli wrote, "It is much safer to be feared than loved. But safer still? To be unaffected? To be so complete in yourself that their opinions simply bounce off? Build an invisible shield, not against physical harm, against psychological invasion. Before you enter spaces where you might encounter them, visualize a shield around you. Their words hit it and fall away. Their opinions can't penetrate. Their judgments slide off. This sounds like imagination. It is. But imagination shapes reality. Athletes visualize success. Soldiers visualize survival. You can visualize sovereignty. The dog lets their words in. The wolf lets them hit the shield and dissolve. They can only hurt you if you let them inside. Keep the shield up. Number 5. The amusement frame. Here's a secret. Bullies are terrified of being laughed at. Not hated, laughed at. Because laughter says, you're not serious, you're not threatening, you're funny. The dog gets angry. The wolf gets amused. When someone tries to provoke you, try this. Find them genuinely amusing. Not mockingly, genuinely. They're so predictable, so desperate for attention, so small in their attempts to feel big. When they attack, smile slightly. Not a smirk, a genuine smile of amusement, like watching a toddler throw a tantrum. Say nothing, just smile. Then go back to what you were doing. This destroys them, because they came for a fight and found a comedy show where they are the clown. Anger says you matter. Amusement says you're entertainment. Which message do you want to send? Number 6. The final erasure. Sometimes, the only winning move is to leave the game entirely. Not all relationships can be saved. Not all dynamics can be reset. Sometimes people are so toxic that the only psychological victory is complete removal. Machiavelli advised, men ought either to be well treated or crushed. But for the wolf, crushed doesn't mean destroyed. It means removed from his reality. If someone consistently tries to tear you down, consider, do they need to be in your life at all? Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves your energy, your attention, your emotional bandwidth. The wolf has a low tolerance for people who make his life smaller. He doesn't announce the cut. He just stops including them. No drama, no explanation, just absence. And absence, as we learned in the previous video, is powerful. You don't have to defeat every enemy. You just have to stop feeding them. Here's the uncomfortable question. Why do you care what they think? Why does their opinion matter enough to react? The dog seeks validation from everyone. The wolf seeks it from no one. But getting there requires looking at why you need external approval in the first place. Is there someone whose approval you never got as a child? Are you still trying to prove yourself to people who don't matter? Does being disliked feel like being unsafe? Your shadow work is to separate safety from approval. They are not the same thing. And once you know that, no bully can touch you. I spent years trying to make my father proud. Nothing was ever enough. I carried that need into every relationship. Bosses, partners, friends. I'd bend over backward for anyone's approval. Then one day I realized the people I was trying to impress weren't even paying attention. I'd been performing for an empty room my whole life. That's when I stopped. Not with anger, just stopped. And for the first time, I breathed. If that resonates, you're not alone. The need for approval is the leash they use. Cut it. Here's your 7-day challenge. Next time someone tries to provoke you, do nothing, feel nothing, say nothing. At the end of the week, notice, how much energy did you save? How much peace did you keep? If this episode cracked something open, if you're tired of being fuel for other people's fires, hit subscribe. Not for more noise, because you're choosing to stop reacting. In the next video, we go deeper into how manipulators slowly erode your boundaries over time. The slow burn manipulation, the erosion tactic that destroys boundaries over time. The dog reacts, the wolf erases. Type erase in the comments if you're done being their entertainment.